The cone vision is of course the most powerful one. I can see a lot with the sound. I can hear the sound rebounding on the wall.
EG points the cone towards a step.
You hear that. It's obvious, so I know exactly what it is. You have so many information, something soft, you know, if the trees are there, the fence you can hear because there's a certain resistance, but there's a part of the sound that goes through it. If there's somebody in the middle, if you can walk quickly, get back a normal walk. Blindness is not sad. Blindness is a challenge. Blindness is a game that we can use to evolve. The people that will be around you, they will tell you, how do you do that?
This film is with audio description. E.G. stands in an open room, the cone vision in his left arm and a ball in his right hand.
I am blind, but with the cone vision, I can see everything. Demonstration.
Mariam enters the frame as she walks across the room. E.G. clicks the cone to find Mariam. He throws the ball, Mariam catches it. E.G. sits in the middle of a sofa with the ball in his hands.
All right, so as you heard, my name is E.G. and I am with Benji with the nice voice that you can hear around describing everything. And I'm going to speak about neuroplasticity or plasticity neuronal, as you want, because it is the key to be able to use the cone vision. When you see, you have your occipital lobes that are asleep. It means that this part of the brain is not working anymore, or other possibility, working 2, 3, 4 times than what you can see correctly because you have a little bit of eyesight. So this part of the brain will try to make the most of what you can perceive with very, very weak eyesight, if you are deeply visually impaired. Now, the point is that somebody who has a normal eyesight is getting 90% of his information with the eyes and 10% with the rest. So when we are blind, we are starving of information. It's so hard to be aware of our surrounding that at one point very often we give up. In France, there is 1% of the blind that go outside, 1-2%. The others, they stay at home. It's too hard, they stay at home. 98-99% they stay at home. You give up and you isolate yourself and you're only with a computer. So you can use and make the most of this starvation. You are going to use neuroplasticity by developing the way of accepting that if you stimulate your brain in a very, very short time, your brain will develop new connections, new synapses in some weeks that will allow you to perceive differently. Perceiving differently means going into vibrations. It can be vibrations of the sound. So my ears will develop to connect directly with my occipital lobes to analyze not anymore the eyesight, but the sound. And also you can develop, and believe me, your body is starving for that, so it's very easy, different system of vibrations that you can put on the body to perceive with electronic stuff that I will show you as well, that you can decide to use or not. In what I will teach you, if you're interested, I will show you that you can open your brain to develop this need that we have to be aware of everything around us with different systems. The cone vision is, of course, the most powerful one, and because you can click very quickly, you can take the direction you want, and the sound is very controlled. You will have the description of the cone vision later on. So it's really specific, and you can go down, up, everywhere. So it's very practical. So I have two girls in front of me, and I have the cone to read everything. They are drawing nearly like a heart. They hold in the middle, they are leaning on each side, and they have the one arm that is open, the second as well. That's it. Nevertheless, we develop as well, and you should be using everything at the same time, also the mouth. So I use the tongue to do also a click.
E.g. uses his mouth to make a click. E.g. throws the ball and hits the camera.
So you can develop abilities like this. Yes, it can be with the tongue. It's helping a lot with the cone, and with the help of the cone, developing and the use of the cone and of the tongue, if you can do it. You can also develop some other sound. You hear a lot with that. And regarding where you are, for instance, in the forest, I can see a lot with this sound. And when we are further away, we can use absolutely.
E.g. claps his hands.
Or we can do a strong sound, and we have a vision. And the other day I was teaching to somebody who is blind in France, and I could describe the buildings at her balcony to 300, 200 meters of distance. There were two people who were there, they were absolutely flabbergasted. Don't believe that I'm a genius. The neuroplasticity allows your brain to adapt to anything. We have accidents that happened in the past to people who lost half of the brain, who were paralyzed on one part, and if they work, they start again, because our brain is fantastically powerful. So I teach all of this, and the protocol is that I will invite you. You will, if you are interested, you will contact us on the mail address that we are going to put in the information. You write something. We'll give you a phone number. I could give it now, but I'm changing my phone number, so I don't want you to have a wrong number. So you write on the mail address. We give you a phone number, and after that I will teach you via audio messages on Telegram, because it's easier. You can have a long message. And so you send a message, you explain everything, you speak, because between blinds it's much easier. I explain everything, we go through the voice, I give you exercises, you give me feedback of the exercises, and at one point you also receive the cone. If you want to have it at once, you use it at once, you will be frustrated, you will be disappointed. So you practice 1-2 weeks, and then we send you also the cone, and you develop exercises with the cone, with the mouth, or only with the cone after that if you want to do that. And it goes on like this. You have, of course, to pay. You pay. I don't do that for the money. We send it to Kirin, which is an association. Kirin means giraffe in Japanese. So it's an association in Spain that is used to protect animals, people who are in need, humanitarian actions. So you pay there, but at the same time you don't know me, so it could be a scam. So what I propose is that the cone and the teaching, we sell it 350 euros. Now, as you don't know me, that it could be a scam, I would invite you to respect your security. You contact me for free. You start exactly as if you had already paid. We can work in English, in German, in French, in Spanish, in Italian, in Portuguese, in Esperanto, and I can listen and answer. So you start to send your messages. I start working with you. We have 2-3 messages. And after 2-3 messages, which means already some work with you, I need to know who you are, how you move, your abilities. And after that, it is time for you to pay. But as you don't know me, you could also pay only 100 euros. Then we go on working. And after a little bit more of work, you pay, you're happy with the work that we did, you can discover some stuff. I send you the cone vision. When you have paid the last part, 250 euros, still to this association. Like this, you can go slowly and try to make sure the maximum that it is not a scam. Because on the internet, you send some money and that's all. So I'm going to show you also a little thing to see that it's really working. And the main point, maybe what I can give you to finish, it is that your surrounding, which means your beliefs, they are influencing you a lot. Why? Because I've been teaching echolocation in England, in America, in Germany, in Austria, and in these countries, it works perfectly well. I tried to teach in Spain, in France. In France, I did half-half. In Spain, it was a disaster. In Italy, a disaster. In Portugal, a disaster. In Greece, a disaster. Why? Because the people, they go to check the internet in their language, Spanish, Portuguese, Greek, and when they go to see that they don't speak English, they hear that it's a scam, it's not working. But in the other countries where it's absolutely classical, America, Austria, Germany, England, I did also in England, of course. In these countries, it's working perfectly well because the people, they go to inquire and they find a kid that is doing that, and so on and so on. So what does it mean? It means that what you believe will be your power. If you have a negative belief, they will create your limits, you know. The function accepted is creating the organ. At the present time, the organ we are talking about is the occipital lobes that are starving and waiting for information. You use the mouth, you use the cone vision, you use extra systems that I will show you in our teaching as well, that you can buy or not. I just show you, it's not really a lesson, I show you at one point, okay, you can use that or that. I have nothing to do with these people, so you don't have to say that you come from me if you want to buy this or this, because I do give that to give you the best possibilities to evolve. But you don't have to specify that you come from me because I have no contract with them. I just give you honest information. So the cone and the mouth, you have plenty. Personally, because I know I want to control everything, I developed other systems that I use as well. One is that I use from time to time, or not all the time, is electronic, which allows me sometimes to stop concentrating because I speak with somebody, and with my system where all these vibrations, sounds, vibration because you have something on the sternum, it's vibrating on the sternum. You listen to all of this, and finally at the end I have a lot of friends that told me, but you see even better than somebody who doesn't see. So it's really a protocol of stimulation, understanding, creating new synapses to create the contact between your occipital lobes and the vibrations, your ears, and the feelings that you can have in your body. It's never too much. It's never too much. Realize you are surviving with only 10%. So your brain will be delighted to have again 90%. And very often when I'm with my friends, I said, oh, this one did that or that. What? I didn't see. Because in fact, of course, with this system, we don't see the colors, we don't see so precisely. But we see on a much larger amplitude. For instance, when I click in front, I can hear behind as well. So very often, I can do the experience. I will do it another time in another film. If we're in a room that is empty, like here, I can give my back to somebody who is moving. I click in front, it's resonating on the wall, and I can hear where is the person behind, and I can shoot a ball behind. So we see differently. It's not the same system, but after that we have nothing to be jealous of with people who are using only the eyes. So now it is time for you to have a description, and first of all I will ask our friend Benji to describe the best you can the cone itself.
E.g. holds the cone with his right arm up to the camera. The cone is about the length of his forearm. It is covered in a woolly sock-like material. Inside the cone there is smooth black insulation, like the find you would find in a car seat or perhaps on a yoga mat.
And if we have that inside, it is because if you don't put this thing inside the cone is resonating too violently, and then you cannot analyze the sound. The cone must be a bit like a mouth. I click, but all around my mouth, what is inside is soft. So the sound has only one way to go out. If we have a cone that is like a mouth, it's freaking like a mouth, but more intensely. If it's too dry, then the sound resonates everywhere. To use it, I put it like a glove.
E.g. opens one end of the cone vision and, like putting on a glove, slides his hand into the thinner end.
And then with the thumb, I click. Now when I use echolocation, it's very clean as well, but I cannot go so quickly. With the cone I can do, but I can also decide. And my brain is analyzing everything. I learned the echolocation with the dolphins. I worked a lot with the dolphins. I am a psychologist and I worked a lot with the dolphins in Scotland, in Israel, in Egypt, in a lot of different countries. A dolphin is using also the echolocation, clicking, but of course the dolphin it's natural, so they can click to a speed of 1,000 clicks a second. So of course, at such a speed, you imagine that every time we click, we have a torch, poof, we turn on the torch half a second, and we have like a picture, we see everything, but it doesn't last long. So if you have 1,000 flashes in 1 second, it's like seeing completely. With the tongue, we click, 2 times a second, 1 time a second. You can count, but I don't know. With the cone, you can go not as quickly as a dolphin, but very quickly. Nevertheless, when you are used honestly, for me it's working perfectly well like this. But after that, it's up to you. Anyone can develop the system. Now, I'm going to show you some little tricks.
We're ready.
So again, I am with the cone. The 2 girls took a new position. They became one obese girl. One block, just on each other. They are sort of hugging or something like this. And they're very close to each other. And the 2 bodies are ready together. Okay.
E.g. stands in an open room with the cone vision now in his right hand.
So, you know that when you have a can, you hold the can with the right hand, for most of the cases. Unless you're left-handed, of course. If you have a dog, you use the dog with the left hand. So the cone, I presented with the left hand if you use the can, which I would advise you for a long time, honestly. Because with the echolocation, with the mouth, you don't see the holes, you don't hear the holes, the stairs down and so on. With the cone, after that, I can target down.
E.g. points the cone towards the floor and clicks.
But if at one point you're a bit absent-minded and that you don't check down, you can fall down. So for a long time, I would advise you, left hand the cone, right hand the cane. And if one day you're really comfortable, then you can decide to use only the cone, which is giving you much more freedom. For me, I can do that very easily, but it's a bit risky, so take your time, okay, for the presentation in general. To go back to what I explained, so that you're sure that there is not a scam of any kind, the global price is 350 euros. I said 100, 250. That is for everything, means the cone. If you have any problem with the cone, you can send it back, we repair it, you have nothing to pay. And the teaching. And the teaching is not limited. It's private, you send me a message, answer, you send me a message, answer. It goes for the time that is needed. If I need to go 3 months, I don't care. It's my pleasure to help people to go out of this loneliness, of the darkness and everything else. All right, now.
E.g. points the cone towards the wall.
I don't know the quality of the sound on the camera. Maybe you will be able to hear a difference.
E.g. clicks the cone close to the wall.
Now it's empty.
E.g. kicks the cone away from the wall.
And behind there's a door.
E.g. clicks towards an open room.
So here maybe you can hear again the depth of the bedroom. If I move on the side, the wall. I move on the left hand side, emptiness. I move on the right, the wall. I know that the camera, the micro is not too bad from the camera, so maybe you can hear even in the film the difference.
E.g. clicks towards an open hallway.
So here, I can assure you, I can hear the sound rebounding on the wall, but going more down. So I hear, while I'm not in front, the stairs going down. The wall. Empty bedroom door. Empty, empty, empty. Full.
E.g. moves the cone back towards the wall.
Full. Empty. When I say empty, it means that it goes further. Full. The wall is there. Now I know that it's larger. And now we have a window that is open here.
E.g. clicks the cone towards the open balcony.
And now, you're too slow. I turn to the left hand side and there you have a resistance of a wall or window that is further. But when I go on the right hand side, the door is open, the sound goes further. Here, there is down, so I know it already, of course. There's like a system, it was a window before. So if you click down,
E.g. points the cone towards a step.
you hear that. It's flat. Here I can hear, and very quickly you will hear this difference as well. It's obvious, so I know exactly what it is.
E.g. steps onto the balcony.
Here I have a resistance just there, not large.
E.g. clicks towards the stove.
When I go this way, maybe you can hear in the camera, this way there's a resonance because there's the depth. On the right hand side, very different the sound. Straight towards the camera. You see, I don't know where the cameraman is. It's a camera woman, to be, sorry to be wrong in English, but to be polite. I know exactly. I'm not hesitating. Here we have the translator who is hiding behind. Table.
E.g. sits down on the chair.
I'm tired. So that's a little demonstration. I show you some other parts.
Ready!
Again, the two girls took a new position. I take the cone. Whoa. That is empty in the middle. Here it's full. Here I guess what it could be. Yes. So they're in a sort of position of somebody who does skiing. With a very nice ass on each side. And hold with the hands in the middle, arms. Okay? Okay, so now it's on the left arm to change, and our off voice, charming off voice. It's not because we present a cone that we're blind that we have to be sad. So let's laugh a little bit and work at the same time. Our friend Benji is very talented for the accents. So you're going to go on in the audio description, but with a different accent. Oh, come on, you can do that.
I wish you had told me before we started filming.
Improvisation.
E.g. begins to click around the room.
Resistance.
E.g. gets closer to the wall.
Resistance.
E.g. clicks towards an open room.
So when you're used here, I'm targeting the wall, but I'm nearly on the frame of the door, yeah? So it's resisting here. Can you describe?
E.g. puts his hand on the wall.
But on the side, we have the frame, so the sound goes, you imagine like shooting like a big circle here?
E.g. references the wall.
Not only, because I go a little bit on the door. You see what I mean? Can you describe this big circle I do?
E.g. points towards a circle. At the edge of the circle is the opening to an open room.
Can you get the Indian accent? Oh, come on, the Indian accent is cool.
Should be paid for this.
So it means that the sound when I shoot is going on the wall, but a part goes already to the bedroom. And when you have the practice, believe me, you hear perfectly well, and you hear perfectly well the resistance and the shape already of the bedroom. So when I go a bit away, you can imagine here, it goes, so it goes a little bit on the outside. Hey, Indian one, you're fine?
What? E.g. begins to click towards the wall. Clicky.
And now when I go here,
E.g. points towards the open room.
you can hear. And if I go close enough, again for the camera, empty in the way that it goes away, full.
E.g. moved the cone from the open room to the wall.
But again, you have to understand that now I show big differences for you to discover, but after that you go into subtlety. If you have been learning Braille, to read Braille, at the beginning it's hell. but it's becoming easier and easier, and you can go very quick. It's exactly the same system. Your finger or your fingers became intelligent. Your occipital lobes can become again alive and very intelligent.
E.G. moves back and forth from the wall, now pointing the cone at the door.
Empty. Full. Empty. And here? Wall.
E.G. begins to click the cone from the wall to the sofa.
And it's really clear, the sofa. It's extremely clear. Again, you don't understand because you don't have the teaching, the practice. But here, I will try to tell you the sound is far and dry. Here, it's becoming soft, absorbed. Here, totally absorbed. For me, it's an idea. More absorbed. Up here, it's starting to be dry because I start to touch the floor. Yeah. And it's extremely precise, believe me. And of course, when you have the technique, you can, of course, do. Can you describe this now?
E.G. begins to move the cone around the wall, clicking with his mouth and the cone.
The cone on the left. Right. You can use the voice you want. So if you want another accent, your accent, feel free. But it means I am there, I can click in front, I can turn my head on the right hand side, click on the right hand side, and click with the cone on the other side. It's harder because now my ears are turned to the other side. If I am facing front, click in front, click right, left.
E.G. moves his arm around the room and clicks with his mouth at the same time.
I assure you, it's extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. And a lot of people who saw me with the cone, they are extremely impressed. Because you have so many information, something soft, you know, if the trees are there, the fence you can hear because there's a certain resistance, but there's a part of the sound that goes through it. When you're in a shop, of course you cannot read what it is, but if it's big, small, if there's somebody in the middle, if you can walk quickly, get back a normal walk. A lot of people, when they are blind, they walk with a certain fear. When you have this security, you can even use that running. For instance, you can click with the mouth. But if you go running, you cannot click, but you can go running quickly. No problem.
E.G. begins to jog around the room.
Okay, so we can do so many things. For those who saw an old film that is called Equilibrium, to leave you with something relaxed, I'm going to show you now a last scene. I joke because you must be open. Blindness is not sad. Blindness is a challenge. Blindness is a game that we can use to evolve. To the people that will be around you, they will tell you, how do you do that? You will manage better, but you will attract also attention, care, relations, friendship, because the people there, oh, what is that? So if I develop that, it's also because my mind is free. The freedom of the mind is helping for neuroplasticity. Keep your mind open, joke, play. Try to avoid smoking and alcohol because they go against the neuroplasticity. It's acting on the brain and it's making your brain more stiff. You cannot do it because you smoke or drink, no. But the better you help, you have to become like a sort of champion of the brain. Okay? So now I'm going to do a last thing that is taken from Equilibrium. Again, the girls put a new position. One girl is leaning in front, giving gas to the other one. Who is in a weak position, we have really the feeling that something is happening, a bit sexual. Very pretty.
E.G. stands in the room with 2 cone visions, one on each arm.
So I hope that you saw with audio description, or before when you could see, it's an old film, Equilibrium. Now, good luck for Benji to describe the kata of the weapons. It's called like this in the film.
E.G. holds 2 in each arm. He points both at different walls at all angles, one in front, now both at the side, now behind him, both in the same direction. He points towards the camera, away from the camera, spinning his arms around, still kicking constantly.
Okay, it's a little... I don't think that it's very useful to have 2, honestly. And especially to put them, you need some help, because it's like a glove, so 2. And if you want to scratch your head, it's not easy. But it could be a good exercise, honestly, because for me, I play, but I see every direction. Even if it's a game.
E.G. continues to move both cones around the room, pointing his arms in different directions.
Okay? So we give you only one. And the last thing that I can give you as an advice, really, to go against the blindness and to go against the isolation. It's not only for you. You know what? What I do, once you know it, you can teach it, and it doesn't belong to me. You can copy the codes, I don't care. You can try to sell. You can try to sell the teaching if you feel talented enough. You ask for the same amount of money. You can refer to me if you respect an honest price. If you go to 1,000 euros, I have nothing to do with you. But if yourself you want to develop to have a bit more of money because you find it's a cool way to make money, and also I always say you teach the best, but you need to learn the most. So it's encouraging you to practice more, to go further, to practice everything that I will give you, because I know a lot about all of this. So after that, you can give the same teaching, reasonable price, honest brotherhood between blinds. It's normal to be paid for what you do, and at the same time, you make money, so it's absolutely welcome, it's honest, and you go against blindness. You have so many systems. I bought, no, I didn't buy, I received a can that I was supposed to pay. Finally, it was offered by an association. So honestly, I didn't pay €1, but it's 5,000 euros with a can that is doing more or less the same work with vibrations. And that is much more specific because we go everywhere. The can is with the laser, so it's quite precise, but just a little dot. So good information, honestly, I will show you when I teach you also this can. With some countries, you can receive it for free if you have an association that looks after that. And if you can, why not? You can have this scan, the code, you know everything. It is enough to be isolated and left alone. The better we see, the better we can, the better we live. That's the spirit. If you transcend your blindness, that like in a lot of countries receive money because you're handicapped, then you have money, you have freedom, and it is time for you to act in the world to help blind people, but to help also other people, because you can. You have money, you are paid by your government to exist and to do whatever you want. Then just do it. Use your money to enjoy the life and to have something really cool. In Nenekwi, we think differently. We learn differently, we think differently, we produce different solutions. The blindness could be a hell for my complete life, or can become my best friend to develop perception, sensitivity, to be different, and to even have the possibility to help the others who are suffering from the same handicap and can get something really powerful to be free. So if my blindness and my freedom, they allow me to give freedom to a lot of people, fantastic, I'm delighted. Thank you for your attention, and thank you to our multi-voices describer.
Well, that's all for